Remember, a belief is based in what people believe, not what you claim. So when I show the Muslims, it says this in the Quran, it says this in the Quran. So when you come to the Christians, say Jesus, he had a wife, you have to prove it. Where do you get this from? That is a very stupid statement and insulting, and that's why I'm going to block you. Never come here. You see, I don't tolerate somebody insult Jesus. You can insult me, you can call me whatever you want. The second you insult my Lord, I will spit on you. Literally. Don't even try. You can make lies about me, you can make videos, you can say whatever you want about Christian Prince. I don't care. I laugh, actually. If you want to say something about Christ, you have to give a proof. And the proof is the Christian books. Anything else is not. I mean, if you study law, if you are just a little kid, stupid, that's your business. But if you study law, you cannot sign a document by your hand, says, this guy, he borrowed money from me and this is my signature. You idiot, you have to show his signature. So if you want to use a proof against me, you have to use my signature, not yours. And that's why you see in front of you on the screen, everything I'm showing you on the screen is your signature. Not a book. You see, if you go to the books of a Christian Prince, you will see no reference of a Christian Prince is made by a Christian Prince. I'll show you Al-Qurtubi, Al-Tabari, Al-Jalalain, Sahih Al-Bukhari, Al-Quran. Those are your signatures. I'm using your document against you. You don't play the game, this dirty game with me. Make fabrication lies. What a shame. People have no shame. So, the conclusion of today. When those liars, they try to explain something they can't explain, they contradict themselves. In one video, Zakir Naik, he says that Allah, he predict your destiny. He do not know your destiny. He predict. That's why he used the example of a teacher. He lied. This is not what Islam teach. When he says that in Islam you have a road and there's 3 exits, you choose one. He lied. Because there's no such a thing in Islam.
Not because Allah has mentioned he will choose road 3, that he has chosen road 3. It is because he will be choosing road 3, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala writes in advance. Because he has ilm ghaib, like how the teacher predicts in advance. So Allah knows this person has a choice. He can choose any of the roads from the 5 roads.
See how you lie? Now let's go to the hadith. We're not done yet. Let us share more knowledge with you. You know, sometimes people, they, like they say, a Christian Prince, you make a video of like 4 hours. How we can watch it? My friend, don't watch it. I break my back sitting on the chair for 4 hours. I don't complain. You complain? I mean, how silly. So please, you know, don't leave those stupid comments. Honestly, they are stupid. They are insulting. Insulting to you, not to me. I mean, there's a teacher who gives from his time for free. 4 hours. I can make, there's many people, they make videos against Islam, they make 15 minutes or 7 minutes. And yet they have way more view than me because it's 7 minutes. People that like fast food and burger, you know. My meal is so fat, it's full of information, you cannot handle it. Don't come. Instead of saying thank you, listen to me, we'll come watch it. Don't watch it. If you go in the hadith, and we will show you something accurate, authentic, not Muslim, something Muslim can say, oh, this is not authentic, etc. You will see Muhammad saying, the following story, which will destroy all their claims. Read carefully. The divine will. This is the name of the book of Sahih Bukhari. This is the Muslim translation, not mine. Take a note. Al-Qadar. This is what Zakir Naik talking about, supposedly. Al-Qadar. He said, here you see the truth about what Al-Qadar is. Not those liars, potato, tomato, making false statements to cover the garbage of Muhammad. This is Muhammad himself talking. Which one you Muslim you take, Zakir Naik or Muhammad? For sure Zakir Naik. Because Muhammad, he will make you go in pain. His word will expose your religion. So you go for Zakir Naik. Read carefully. Allah Messenger, the truth, the truly inspired. He is the truth, remember. They call even their prophet the truth. This is the name of God in Islam, supposedly. And Jesus said, I'm the truth. Each one of you is collected in the womb of his mother for 40 days. As a sperm, by the way. Here it doesn't show. And then turn into a clot in equal period. And then he became a piece of flesh for equal period. So this is again additional proof that Muhammad is a fraud, because those numbers are false. There's nobody stay in the womb of his mother for 40 days as a sperm, and nobody will be a clot anyway. And in the top of that, you will be a clot of blood for 40 days, and then you will become a lump for 40 days. Who in the world will believe in this garbage? And then Allah, he will send an angel and order him to write 4 things. Remember, he will write what? 4 things, i.e. his provision, which means your luck, what you will have, you will be wealthy, whatever, poor, whatever. His age, whether he will be witched or blessed, even that Allah decides for you. In the hereafter, then the soul will breathe into him, and by Allah, the person among you may do the deed of people of fire, till there is only a cubit or an arm breadth distance between him and fire. So this guy is doing everything wrong, and almost he's going to go to hell. Out of that, but then the writing which Allah has ordered to the angels to write, proceed. Do you see it? And he does the deeds of people of paradise, and he enter it. This is destroy all the garbage of Muhammad. All your deed all those things they say to you, you do them, is a fraud. Because as you see, your deeds is not going to help you. It's what Allah rewrote for you. There's almost an arm distance between you and hell, and then what Allah he wrote for you will take over. Do you see it? So Zakir Naik is lying. All those who claim to be scholars in Islam, they are. All those we see in YouTube, they are lying. In the top of that, Muhammad himself is lying. Because in different hadith, he says, your deed will not secure you, right? Okay, well, this is matched with here. Your deed will not help you. But in the Quran, it says those who do good deeds will go to heaven. So what we will do with the Quran? Chapter 2, verse number 22. There's many verses saying those who believe and do good work, they will go to the garden, and there's a river of wine and sex, and So what we will do with this verse? Because this verse is totally the opposite of what Muhammad is saying, that in the heaven of Allah, or the heaven of Allah, is not reached by your deeds, is reached by what Allah wrote for you. When we mentioned to you the story of a child or an infant who died, and yet he might go to hell. Why? Because it's what Allah he wrote for him. He did not commit any sin. So his deed doesn't count. The deed of you doesn't count. It is what Allah he wrote for you. The sin of Adam doesn't count for Adam, because he was, this is what his fate. Allah he wrote for him 50 years before he created him. A fate. And Adam saying to Moses, are you going to blame me for fate? You cannot blame me. And Muhammad, agree. So the opinion of Muhammad is that even the sin of someone like Adam, the first sinner man, was a fate. That is destiny. So why they are lying to us? Why in the videos they are saying something totally different from what their prophet is saying? Why they are trying to hide the confusion of this garbage religion? And yes, this is a garbage. A prophet who says to me, if you do good deed, you go to heaven. And then different place he says, second day he says, your deed will not save you. In one place he says to me, if you say Bismillahi Alhamdulillah 100 times, you go to heaven. And what we would do with those? I mean, what happened to the guy who says, if you say Bismillahi Alhamdulillah? Muhammad, obviously, he's mentally ill person. What we will do with this? Isn't it Muhammad who said? The one who says Subhanahu wa bihamdihi. Okay. Glory to Allah, praise to him. Recite 100 times in Arabic. The Prophet said, whoever recite this 100 times in the morning and the evening, he will not be suppressed in the day of resurrection. And any one of you do better than this. What is this? Obviously, this doesn't match. I mean, what's wrong with this guy? How in one place you say to us that even if there is a distance of one arm to go to heaven, and then what Allah He wrote to you will take over. And then you say to us, heaven in Islam is so easy. Just recite, Astaghfirullah. Look at the sentences. Look, this is a new sentence. Astaghfirullah. What? Astaghfirullah wa atubu ilayhi. 100 times. Okay, if you say 100 times Astaghfirullah to Allah and repent for him, you go to heaven, brother. What is that? How we can match those lies together? And how God became a joke? Because this God obviously is a joke, you know. I say to him, so now Christian Prince is making fun of Muhammad all day. And then I say, Astaghfirullah, alhamdulillah, astaghfirullah, alhamdulillah, astaghfirullah, alhamdulillah. That's it, I'm done. And when Muhammad, he said, when you do a good deed, that will erase the bad deed. Okay. So how that will match with the hadith saying that it doesn't matter, it's what Allah He wrote for you? What's wrong with this guy? He called himself Muhammad. How we can put all those lies together? How we can collect them? How we can explain them? So here he's saying, and I, by Allah, look how serious he swear, by Allah, a person among you may do deed of people of fire till there is only a cubit or an arm breadth distance between him and fire. Let's say you are there. But then that written, which Allah ordered the angel to write between two brackets, proceed, and he does the deeds of paradise, and he enter paradise. So the guy all his life was doing wrong. All his life. And then what Allah wrote will proceed. And then he go to heaven. So it's not what you do. It's bad luck or good luck. So if you are a lucky person, Allah He wrote for you to go to heaven. If you are your luck is bad, Allah wrote for you before He created you to go to hell. That's what Muhammad is saying. And then he continues saying, and a man may do the deeds of people of paradise till there is only a cubit or two between him and paradise. And then that is written proceed, and he does the deed of people of fire, and he enter it. Where is justice here? Is that fair? person, he is doing the deeds of paradise all his life. Then what Allah he wrote for him, a destiny, will proceed and change everything. Where is justice? Muslims, be honest with me. Was Zakir Naik honest when he said Allah is like a teacher who predicts where you will be? He don't decide where you will be. What do you think? Please don't spam the chat, otherwise we have to give you a timeout, and then if you continue, we have to block you, my friend. Repeating the same message many times is not a good thing. Any Muslim there? So why I want to be a Muslim? Okay, so what Allah wrote for me already is there. Maybe Christian Prince is one of those. He was doing the deed of, according to Muslims, I'm evil now, right? Okay, so I am doing okay those evil things, and then what Allah wrote for me, it will happen. So whatever it is, it is. Here we go, an example of a person who is doing the deeds of paradise. So the Muslim who was attacking me, he might go to hell, and Christian Prince who was attacking Muhammad might go to heaven. Because it's not what you do, not what I do. It's bad luck, good luck. This hadith and those hadith are extremely important, can destroy Islam easy. I don't know how many of you are saving them. Because the logic of any religion destroyed by this hadith. If somebody come to me from a religion called shish kebab, huh? And he said to me, there's a God, if you believe in him, you go eat shish kebab. Okay. But then he showed me this hadith here. Doesn't mean there's no shish kebab. There's no hummus. This religion is crazy. There's even gambling is not there, because it's not, you are not part of the game, you are the game. You know what I mean? Like in gambling, people, they play card. It is you who play. And here you are the card. This is a stupid religion. This hadith, which is authentic, the Muslim, they cannot say to you this is weak, or, and by the way, this exists many places, is enough to destroy all the cult of Islam. Because why I want to fast, why I want to be a good believer, why I want to be a Muslim? At the end of the day, here we go. This is a guy who pray to Allah 5 times a day. A man who do the deeds of people of paradise. Okay, he joined Osama bin Laden, he joined ISIS, he joined Al-Qaeda, he killed many, he did terrorism, he prays Allah every day, he joined the Muslim Brotherhood, he cursed Christian Prince, he threatened him, I will find you, I will do etc. for you. Okay, and then what is written by Allah take over him, and he goes to hell. So everything he did is gone. How you know a false prophet? The false prophet is a liar who cannot repeat his lie twice the same way. This guy, everything he said is a contradiction for what he say. It's not contradiction for somebody else said, it's he himself contradict himself. Why you want to be a Muslim anyway? The story in front of you, Muslims, I'm asking you, why you want to be a Muslim if this is what will happen? It's not you who decide where you will go. It's not your deeds. He lied to you. It's not you being a Muslim or not. They say to you, if you say Shahada, you become a Muslim, you go to heaven. This is a lie. Read it carefully. It's not my words. And this is authentic. Could you, Muslim Mustafa? Who is Muslim Mustafa? Who is the guy? My friend, don't worry about those kids who come in the chat. They can say whatever they want. They're kids. Their scholars don't dare to say hello to me. Hey, hold on. We have here Mr. Jawad White saying this is metaphorical. Hey, Jawad, it's metaphorical. Your prophet said that it's not what you do, it's what Allah He decide. What metaphorical? A person who's praying to Allah all his life, why he might go to hell? Are you there, Jawad? Let us see now. Like I did not notice you in the chat or saying all those crazy stuff. Now I notice you. You get lucky. What is metaphorical? And why your metaphorical, your prayer is more important at night? There's a night and day for Allah. And who cares for the prayer? As long as your prayer will not help you. Isn't it your prophet? He says your deed will not save you. Prayer is a deed. When your prophet says that your deed, none of you, including me, his deed will secure his salvation. So why you pray? What your prayer will do? What verse, my friend? What verse you want? Mustafa speak. He is here to see the argument against Islam. He will start in his brain. Mustafa, according to your prophet, you have no brain. And I will prove it to you. How in the world a person who have a brain believe that there's an angel, he did beat the angel of death and he make him stopping Allah from killing him? How somebody have a brain, he believe that God, he taught Sulaiman the language of birds, but yet Sulaiman, he speak the language of ants. I'm just trying to find out what do you mean by brain. Is that metaphorical brain you have or real brain? What kind of God he promised you women with big boobs? I want to see how your brain function, you know? Like, do your brain get activated when you see there's big boobs, like something would happen in your brain? Like, is your brain is different from our brain? I don't know. I find Muslims, when they try to show us why they cannot answer us, it's very funny. I mean, I don't know what's wrong with you. Is that your answer? Metaphorical? What metaphorical? When Allah, he say, through his prophet, that going to heaven is not by what you do, is what I decide before I created you. What do you mean by your brain? Your brain is cancelled by Muhammad. You have no brain. Where's your brain? Okay, hold on. Let us show you what Mr. Mustafa is saying. Hold on. Guys, read with me carefully what Mustafa is saying. Do you like to call me Mustafa? Do you like to call me live now and I will put you on the screen? I mean, take a call from you? Because I like to speak to your brain. Look like you have a special one. I'm pretty sure I have a brain. Okay. CP, otherwise I would not be alive. Logic. CP prove he does not have a brain now. No. You see, so you have a brain. I said, I don't know what kind of brain it is. Maybe it's a brain of a mosquito. Because if your brain is a brain of a human being, well, do you believe really there's a fountain, you drink from it and you live forever? Or your prophet was lying? I want to see how good your brain is. Is that true? There's a prophet, his name is Al-Khudr, which means Mr. Green. He drank from the fountain of life, and since then he's green. Help me with your logic. Can we find this water to solve the... I mean, all those people who die from corona, we can just spring some water from it on it. Is your brain with us today, or it's in a vacation? Where was the brain of your prophet when he says that if the women have orgasm first, the baby will be a child, a female like the mother, and if the men have orgasm first, the baby will be a male? Is that really what make the baby happen? Orgasm first? Huh? I'm just trying to understand, you know, how your brain function. I mean, look like your brain is work only to refute me, but your brain doesn't work with your prophet. The second your prophet he says something, your brain go and sleep. And until now, I didn't see your refutation. Okay, well, he's a kid anyway. What about the adult Muslims who have a brain? And you know, look, in the heaven we will have virgins, and all of them we will see through their bones. I mean, my brain is working good now. You know? I mean, women who they are like jellyfish, so Allah is rewarding me or punishing me. They look scary. This is a promise of God. Where is the brain? So there is a God who is promising me transparent women. When we say transparent, we think, okay, maybe they are decent. This is what transparent means. No, he's talking about their skin and their body. They are so beautiful to the point they are transparent, to the point the marrow of the bones of their legs will be seen through the flesh. Is your brain working now? For me, I'm scared. I mean, imagine you get married from a woman or 70 women or whatever, and then what you go, you'll find a bunch of bones. Walking bones, shiny bones at night, like you hit the flashlight, you see what? You see bones. Is your brain working? And they say to me, like, why you laugh? Why you make fun? I am not. But showing you what your prophet said is an insult to you. That's why you think, you know, I'm just making comedy. This is the comedy by itself. I'm not making it. I mean, what made Muhammad say this? I mean, what the point of this? We know Arab are crazy, obsessed with the white supremacist. They don't like any color. They don't like Asian women. They don't like black women. They like white women, very white women. So Muhammad, he promised them what they like. Racist people. You will not find one Muslims, he go to Europe, marrying a black woman, going back to the Middle East. Never. He will marry a blonde woman, have a green eyes, blue eyes. So this is what your prophet is promising us. Does that make sense? Where's your brain? What is this? Who in the world want to believe in such a madness? So because the Arab, they are obsessed with white women, so he promised them extreme white women, to the point they became transparent. Remember carefully, they are so beautiful. To the point of what? To the point they are transparent. That's not beautiful anymore. That's scary. So when a person speaks about logic, a Muslim speaking about logic, this is alone is a comedy. This is alone is a comedy. You are a Muslim speaking about logic. Yeah, you know, beauty of women have nothing to do with their color. There's beautiful Asian women, there's beautiful black women, there's beautiful white women, and it can be the opposite. I mean, it's a taste of a person, what he think is a beauty for him. For me, I like baklava. You know, I prefer to spend my day with baklava. Bring me like a 10 kilograms of baklava, I'm happy. Forget about women. If Muhammad he heard of me, he will promise me. Actually, he did hear of me. He promised me a river of honey. A river of honey. Okay, is the heaven going to be hell or heaven? Because to have a river of honey, to make it melted and go like water, it have to be very hot. And what I will do with a river of honey? A river of milk, a river of wine, 3 rivers. There's no Pepsi Cola. Why? Because Muhammad never heard of it. You know, if you look at the promises of Muhammad in heaven, you will, maybe you should make the coming video about it, but let us give you like take a look. What we will show you, let us see. What Allah will give me. In the heaven, brother, you will be wearing bracelet. I mean, who of you don't like to wear? Why a man want to wear a bracelet? Why a man will wear a bracelet? Any Muslim can tell me? And that will make him pretty or what? As for such, there is a garden of Eden. Garden of Eden? In heaven? Again? Okay. Wherein river flow beneath them, therein will be given armlet of gold and wear a green robe of finest silk. Like what? What is this? The translation is very funny, by the way. They changed the translator. I mean, this Pictal is an idiot. Sometimes his translation is, I don't know, he uses software maybe, like Yusuf Ali. For them will be garden of eternity. Where is the word eternity? It doesn't say that. At the end, the end. Okay. يحلون, you know, behind. Okay, and the river will flow, and they will be adorned therein with the bracelet of gold, and they will wear a green garment of silk and heavy brocade. Okay, and by the way, the garment of silk is not really, it is a garment of silk, but it's a brand. It's called istabraqa. It's like saying Gucci. So in the time of Muhammad, there was a famous brand of silk made in Persia. Those Arab don't make silk. They don't know how to make anything. They are Bedouin. So only rich people, they wear that garment. Imagine Muhammad, he said to them, you will have Nike shoes. Can you believe it? Okay, why Allah is taking a garment made in Persia, promising you to have it in heaven? Hey Mark, if I am you, I will make my daughter resign from such a company. Those countries are very bad countries. Bad things can happen, my friend. Do you see it? So God, he promised me, it's like today, he promising me an iPhone. This is a brand. It says here in Arabic, was tabraq, and tabraq is not an Arabic word, and all the Muslims agree this is a Persian word, a brand of a Persian silk. What kind of God he take Persian silk? Why? Because it was very famous, the most expensive. And why God he want to put the bracelet of gold? What is the value of gold in heaven? And why gold is my promise in heaven? That is a promise of Shaitan. Satan, you know, he tried to tempt you by every mean he can. Money, gold, silver, women. He tempt women by men, or women, you know, and men by women. If women and, you know, don't work, we will tempt you by money. If money doesn't work, even will come to you in the form of a good priest or a prophet. This is why the Lord, he says, be aware of false prophet. They will come to you in the clothes of a sheep, but they are wolves. The devil will try anything. You are religious, he will come to you from the door of religion. You are a lousy person, he will be there for you. And this is Allah. You like gold? I will give you a bracelet of gold. You like women around you? Oh, in my heaven, you have a lot of women. They like boys. Even he promised you beautiful boys. The Muslims, they say they will be your servant. What kind of God he promised me child abuse in heaven? This is a child abuse. If I have a child in my house, let us say, you know, a child, he is homeless. I'm going to make the child serve me, or I'm going to make the child like my son. So what kind of God? He will give you 80,000 little boy, and all of them, again, they are white like pearls. Obsession with white. So the women will be white, the boys will be white, because this religion does not like any color except white. Even in the Quran it says that in the judgment day Allah will make all the believers so white and all non-believers black. Very racist white supremacist cult. Do you see it? Why does God, he want to promise me little boys in heaven? And why he want to make me white? Before you enter the heaven of Allah, Allah will make you, the angels will give you a drink of water. The first drink will make you white and will make you look in the age of Jesus, 33 years old, and will make you have the face of a prophet Joseph. This is what Muhammad said. All the men in the heaven, they will be 33 years old. All of the men, they will have the same face, a white, very white face, like Joseph. Very handsome. All the men will be the same height. The virgin in the heaven, all of them, they are transparent. All of them, they are so white to the point you can see through the bones. And all of them, they are very young and they have big breasts. The funny, I need to find this hadith. Muhammad, he promised to Muslim women that a Muslim woman in the heaven, she will be 70 times more pretty. How many times? 70 times. Here you see the stupidity, how it works. You know, people, they say to me, why you use the word stupid a lot? I mean, I have to, I don't know. You tell me, there's a better word I can use. You tell me, help me. I don't know. I can, you know, my English is limited, as you know. English is not my first language. So I have limited, let us say, words to use. Let us see. Okay, let us see here. Anyway, in the hadith it says that a Muslim woman, she go to heaven, she will be 70 times more pretty. So I'm going to do this in front of your eyes just to show you how shallow those promises are. Let us say there's three women There's a 3 women. Women A, okay, and women B, all right, and women C. Consider the C like whatever name, the B whatever name you want. Okay, so let us say that this woman, she is beautiful. She is beautiful. So let us say she is the beauty queen. This woman, number B, is so-so, middle. Okay. This one is the one who is unlucky. I will use the word ugly. Don't be upset from me. Okay. Now, Muhammad, he will make each one of them 70 times more pretty. But guess what? Nothing changed. The beauty is 70 times more beautiful. The so-so is 70 times more so-so. The ugly is 70 times more beautiful, but still she is ugly compared to the beauty. Because all of them, they increase equally in beauty. Do you understand what I'm saying? Nothing changed. You were ugly in earth, you are ugly in heaven. So the woman who was beautiful already, he made her 70 times more pretty. Okay. The one she was between, she is not too beautiful, not too, you know, she became 70s, but still the same, nothing changed. Because this one, let us say, this one, her beauty is equal to 70, the beautiful one. 70x 70. What, 490 times more beautiful? The so-so was 35 pretty, x 70. The one she was 0 or 1 equals 70. So this one, she is 70. This one is 7x 30 or 35. And this one 70x 70. Nothing changed. You are ugly in earth, you are ugly in heaven. So he promised you nothing. Because remember, this beauty and ugly, or this is a human being term they use relative to something else. So relatively, this woman, she is more pretty than this woman, relatively. But in fact, all is the same, all is a human. You know, when you look at the ants, you don't see which one is pretty because they look the same for you, right? But maybe for the ants, there's a beautiful female. I don't know. Maybe they have a bikini show too. You know, these days things is going crazy. And pretty is always relative to a culture. Pretty is relative to a culture. This is why Muhammad, he promised in heaven that the women, she will have 1 mile bum size. Her size will be her butt will be 1 mile. Why Muhammad promising them to be so big? Because at that time, the Arab, they like women who they are big in size, not the skinny one. This is why, if you remember, when we read the story of Zainab, Muhammad, he went to his own son by adoption, and it says there, وَكَانَتْ زَيْنَبْ بَيْضَاءٌ جَسِيمَةٌ min atammi nisa'i Quraysh, and she was white and big and beautiful. Big, Jasima, not only big, she is huge and beautiful. So the bigger she is, the more sexy she is, and that's why Muhammad promising them such a woman. She is so big. So in the old days, if a woman, she is skinny, that means she is sick. She is not healthy. Nobody will marry her. She will not give you babies. If she is big in size, oh, she is the woman. Like, you know, it's amazing how life changed. I mean, you see how a human being brain function? Do you see how a human brain function? When they say to you there's something called brainwash, this is true. It's a culture. If the culture says to you, the woman who is big, she is beautiful, then that's it. This is in your head. This is the beauty. If your culture says change under the influence of different culture, says that woman, she is skinny, is the one who is beautiful, that's it. That's it, the skinny. But if you look today at women who they are so skinny, I mean, they are bones. I don't know what a man will find. And I would more respect to all women. I'm saying, I mean, come on. Some women, they don't eat, they don't do. You became bones. I mean, there is no women left on you. Don't do that. Don't listen to those stupid fashion show. Those are not real. Those are. I feel sorry for those women, by the way. They use them. They force them not to eat. They vomit what they eat. Human beings should be normal. Anyway, again, this is my personal opinion, right? But I feel sorry really for how people think about even women, how they look about men these days. I mean, how they look, you know, in the old days, they look at the man, how decent he is, how hardworking he is, how good he is. Today, how, you know, fashion he is, how long his hair, how nice his clothes, his body, he have nice shoes. I mean, yeah, everything is upside down. The man is not judged by his equality these days. And same for the women, sadly. The first question in the old days, they used to ask him, okay, do you work? Not how much money you have. Do you work? Are you a hard-working person? Do you have problems? What people they say about you? They go check about you. They see who is your friends. These days, no. You can be the biggest scumbag ever. If you drive nice car, and you have a nice house, and you have a big money in the bank, I mean, who cares about the left? What about the rest? Right? And that is Islam. Muhammad, he says, a woman, she can be married for 3 reasons, and right away he starts with her money and her position. The quality at the end.